Greetings, and welcome to Community Uplift. I'm your host, Denise Smith, and today's show is about service and uplifting our community, one project at a time. We'll check in with our Friendship Charities Foundation and Charles Drew Memorial Scholarship to learn more about the work they've been doing and the focus for their future. Also on Community Uplift today, you'll meet Brother Richard Allison II and hear what he has planned as Gamma Pi's new basilisk. But first, we'd like to take a moment to honor a man whose legacy and passion for the community will inspire us all for years to come. He was a 3-term Gamma Pi basilisk and served Omega Psi Phi's Fraternity Incorporated on both the district and international levels. As many will tell you, the Super Chapter has lost a super brother. We were saddened by the passing of Brother Gordon Everett Sr. We're all thankful for his work in the community, and the chapter appreciates his leadership along the way. Please join us in a moment of silence to honor Brother Gordon Everett Sr. Thank you. From us here at Community Uplift and the Gamma Pi chapter, we're sending love to the family and friends of Brother Everett, a star that shined for so many. We'll be right back with more Community Uplift. Welcome back to Community Uplift. So a lot has changed since we last saw each other. I'm sure I don't have to tell you that. Through all of those changes, leadership is what helps us navigate it. Strong leadership continues to be a focus of the Gamma Pi chapter. And for the first time here on Community Uplift, please welcome Gamma Pi's new basilisk, Brother Richard Allison II. Brother Allison, welcome to Community Uplift.
Thank you, Denise. Good to see you again and great to be here.
Sure. So how does it feel to be on your first Community Uplift show? And why don't you tell us about what you have planned or what's in store for Gamma Pi under your leadership?
Well, first, I'm very pleased to be here. I remember previous times when you guys were in studio, I would come into the studio and get to watch you all tape the show. I've always enjoyed the show. And with some of the prior basilisks, such as Tony Lee, Brother Tony Lee, who's resting in heaven, as well as Stephen Walls, I understand and know that I have some huge shoes to fill. But in terms of my road to leadership, I joined Omega Psi Phi fraternity in 1996 through the Gamma Pi chapter. And admittedly, I was a handful as a youth. And so, but the brothers never gave up on me. They continued to push me to make sure that I was involved in our community. I did that for a number of years. And in 2019, I ran and was elected vice bosses of the chapter. Mm-hmm. I served 2 terms in that capacity. And then this past June of 2021, I was elected as the bosses of the chapter. My term began November 1st. I've been in a fraternity for 25 years and been very active for all of those years. And I have a burning desire to serve our community as well as help our fraternity and chapter thrive in the 21st century.
Well, congratulations on being elected the new basilisk. I'm sure you're going to do wonderful things and have great leadership. Once again, I understand Gamma Pi has suffered another huge loss. Can you tell us about that?
Absolutely. As you alluded to earlier in the program, we lost Brother Gordon Everett Sr. Brother Gordon Everett was one of those brothers who never gave up on me. In fact, he served as one of my mentors as basilisk and vice basilisk. He, in fact, was a past 3-term basilisk, and he died suddenly on February 25th. It was very devastating, unbelievable, shock to the chapter because his death was unexpected. In fact, a number of brothers keep coming to me and telling me how they saw him the night before because he was hanging out at the CIAA, and many had dinner with him. And one of my good friends watched him walk in the house into his garage the night before. He had a lot of wisdom. He had 47 years in Omega, and he led not only our chapter, but he also served on the district levels as well as the international level on various committees. He chaired a number of committees for the chapter, and he certainly was one of those brothers who served as not only my mentor, but one of those brothers who was kind of what we would call a brother's brother, someone who could relate to the youngest brother in the chapter to some of the most senior brothers in the chapter. So for me, it was one of my proudest moments to have to memorialize, to have the opportunity and privilege to memorialize him right before his funeral recently.
I'm very sorry for your loss, and my condolences to you all, the chapter brothers and his family. So over the past 2 years, the chapter has been doing really great things in the community, particularly with food drives. How's that going? Is that going to continue?
Absolutely. The food drives are continuing. There's certainly still a need out there. And as long as there's a need, we're going to continue to be on the front line of providing those kind of services to our community. But I have to say, first and foremost, that it's through the partnership with Friendship Charities Foundation, as well as Food for Thought, that we're able to accomplish this. Gamma Pi is the logistical arm behind those entities who actually brings these food drives to life. We've sponsored food drives in all 9 county council districts, we're proud to say, and we've also helped to feed over 100,000 people over the past 2 years. As a result of our efforts, we've been recognized on local TV, radio, and newspapers. So as I said, we're proud of our accomplishment in that regard, and we're going to continue to feed people as long as we need to.
That's great. Those partnerships are really great to have. And so our community is really lucky to have the Gamma Phi chapter behind them and leading the way in that effort. So thank you very much. That means a lot to Prince George's County. So the chapter has a few big meetings coming up, right?
Absolutely. At the end of April, we actually have what's called our district conference, and that's going to be in the Meadowlands, New Jersey. Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated, is that most people don't know, is actually broken up for logistical purposes or administrative purposes into 12 districts. And each district has their own individual meeting. And then in July, this summer, will be our 83rd Grand Conclave in Charlotte. Between July 22nd and 26th. And that's when all of those districts come together for one huge meeting in Charlotte, North Carolina. So I certainly intend to work hard and play hard at both of those meetings.
I like the play hard part. You got to do that. You got to have that. If you work hard, you deserve it to play hard, right? So as Basilisk, what are your priorities for the chapter?
Essentially, I'm trying to make sure that I continue the legacy of those Basala before me. We're promoting excellence throughout all of our programming, excellence in terms of our conduct, excellence in terms of our image. Also, we're promoting unity amongst the brotherhood, as well as unity within our community. And one of the last things I want to do is I want to grow the chapter, but the goal is not just to only have the largest chapter, but the best chapter in all of the QSI.
Well, we thank you for stopping by Community Uplift, and congratulations again, and good luck on your first term. We're looking forward to your leadership in Prince George's County and the chapter, and we look forward to having you back on the show again.
Thank you.
Next on Community Uplift, let's hear from our Friendship Charities and the Charles Drew Memorial Scholarship Fund. You don't want to miss what they've been up to. So we'll be right back.
I don't remember how it started.
Go to that.
Oh boy. Our back and forth. It always came back. Dad! You probably don't remember what you told me.
That was perfect.
But I heard every word.
Welcome back to Community Uplift. You know, uplift is a powerful word to us here. It means to raise the level of or improve. It represents an optimistic and positive feeling, and it's what we're all about. That's why it's in the name. That's also why we're so happy to have brothers Lucian Cox and Brett Blake joining us on the show today to share about our Friendship Charities Foundation and the Charles Drew Memorial Scholarship Fund and how they're both uplifting our community. Gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Welcome. Good to be here. Thank you.
Great. So Brett, can you give us a history of the foundation that you chair and, sort of when it got started and how it got started?
Sure. And thank you again for having me. I'm Brett Blake, the chairman of the Charles Drew Memorial Scholarship Fund. And Charles Drew Memorial Scholarship Fund was started in 1985 by brothers of the Gamma Pi chapter. I believe it's like 13 brothers that came together for the purpose of providing financial assistance to the students of Prince George's County by way of scholarship. So it started in 1985. Pretty much took them a little while to get going, and they really got going in 1997. And from there on, the fund just took off, and we've been providing scholarships by way of assistance ever since. As a matter of fact, one of the founding members just resigned from the board after 37 years. That was Brother Marion Massey.
Oh, okay. Lucian, how about Friendship Charities?
And good evening. Good to be back. Nice to see you again. Yes, Friendship Charities, it actually started as Gamma Pi Omega back in 1987. And in 2006, they changed, they got their 501c3 designation. But in 2011, as the foundation was considering getting more support, they decided to change its name to Friendship Charities Foundation to better align themselves with different companies and organizations that would provide support to the foundation and kind of remove the fraternity name situation. That nomenclature seemed to hinder the idea of getting funding from certain organizations. And that's where things are. The foundation's been really bustling, moving very well over these number of years, getting grants and supporting the community.
And can you talk about some of the ways that Friendship Charities has been able to serve the public?
The biggest way we've been able to serve the public is we have secured over the last I'd say more the last 3 to 4 years, different installations of grant money from the county, and that money has supported scholarships. That money has supported seniors. That money has supported the youth education. And as you heard our esteemed bossless mention earlier, we provided a lot of funds to the Food for Thought and food distribution effort that's been going on since the pandemic.
So is Friendship Charities is it the fundraising arm, or is it completely separate?
It is, okay, there is a fundraising component, obviously, of the foundation. It is separate in the nature that it is a 501c3, obviously it's a nonprofit. And so any activities and funds that we're able to receive are obviously not tax deductible, and all members of the chapter are members of the foundation, but the board members of the foundation are elected to perform the activities, keep the foundation going, and we act under the auspices of what the membership wants. We are elected to have 3-year terms, and those terms are staggered so that we can support year to year.
Brett, how is the scholarship fund? How does it operate through the chapter? Is it also a separate entity, or is it a part of the chapter?
It's a separate entity. Just like Brother Cox stated, we are a separate 501c3 organization, and we operate independently from the chapter. However, we are all members of the chapter, and we consider the chapter our corporation who we report to annually. So we're separate, but we're all equal because we're part of Gamma Pi.
What are some of the greatest accomplishments that you have found thus far to have come from the scholarship fund?
Well, this last year, we're really proud that we were able to give out over $50,000 in scholarships. And we also raised our individual scholarships from $1,500 to $3,000. So even with COVID being in place and all that, we were still able to get funding from the county and other individuals and private organizations to help provide over $50,000 in scholarships. So that's really a big deal for us.
Absolutely, that's a big deal. That's incredible. Does the Mardi Gras also contribute to the scholarship fund? Because I know that is also a scholarship fundraiser as well.
I'm going to let Brother Cox talk about that, but I'm going to say yes, because Friendship Charities is one of the organizations that provides scholarships to us. So, but I'll let him talk more about this Mardi Gras.
Okay, Lucian.
Yeah, so the Mardi Gras, the last one we had was obviously in 2019. The funds from the Mardi Gras have always come to the foundation, and those funds have helped support a lot of the social action programs that the chapter is involved with, whether it's with our Q Kids, whether it's Project Enrich, a number of things like that. And the years ago, the Mardi Gras was actually given to the foundation so that it could manage it, and the funds could come to the foundation because of the tax write-off and the 501c3 status. So this was a good thing that the chapter leadership and the organization and the foundation membership decided to do.
Okay, that's awesome. We know that you can't really do it all by yourself, right? So how important are public and community partnerships to the success of both of the foundations?
Well, I'll jump on that one, and then Brett can surely follow. The reason it's important is you have organizations in the community that know the needs. They're on the front lines, and they know the communities, they know where the suffering is, they know where the hardships are. And so partnering with these organizations, they let us know what's needed, and then we're able to make sure that the funds get directed efficiently to these efforts. So that's where I see the importance, because they're at the front line. Brett, you can give your sense also.
Yeah, I echo those comments. I think that we're able to kind of go where some of the public organizations can't go per se, and we're able to fill those needs. So yeah, I echo those comments.
Okay. And sticking with Brett, how has the pandemic impacted your ability to serve the community in terms of the foundation, over the past 2 years? What's it been like for you with respect?
Well, surprisingly, it's been good. We've been able to raise funds during the pandemic, surprisingly, and so we've had a good run with it. However, we have not been able to get out and publicly kind of award or meet students or parents as we award the scholarships. So that's one thing that is not really has been a downer. But in terms of the fund growing and receiving funds, it's worked in our favor.
So So do you mean that, so when you award the scholarships, the parents, the students haven't received them yet, or are you doing more virtual programming? Is that how it works?
No, we at one time we were going to the schools and actually putting the scholarships in their hands and like on award night or award ceremony.
Oh, wow.
Because of COVID, that stopped. So now we're just basically doing everything by mail. Checks to the students and communicating with the parents, but we haven't actually met them.
Well, with the mask mandates kind of going away, I know there's some other concerns. Do you think that will pick back up again? Or
I sure hope so.
Yeah. How about you, Lucian, in terms of how the pandemic has impacted the friendship charities?
Well, as you know, the pandemic with everything on lockdown and people staying in the house, it was an abrupt change to
Mhm.
the boots on the ground, as we like to say, and being in the community and being visible and helping in person. And it even made it even more difficult because the type of programs and support that the foundation likes to put in play, it takes a while. The communities in need to understand how they can be helped and how you can start certain programs going. When the pandemic hit, everything stopped. But what was good was with the families that were so much in need, and obviously the food distribution picked up, the Food for Thought organization really had rallied some community support. And we were really thankful that we were able to provide funds that we got from grants from the county and be able to provide all the number of food and families that were served, as the boss was stated earlier.
Have you received any support from the other Divine Nine organizations, Lucian?
We do, and it was a huge outpouring of support from all of the Divine Nine organizations doing the food distribution process. And as you know, the Divine Nine, we're all service oriented. And so the idea to be able to get out in the public, not only for people to see, but to be able to lend a hand, visibly lend a hand and serve like we're so used to doing was unbelievable. And I'm sure many of my fraternity brothers and other organizations would attest to that.
Do the two foundations work together or have the opportunity to interact with one another, or are they completely independent and separate?
Well, we have the opportunity to work together. As you know, Charles Drew, they provide scholarships. We provide scholarships also to Charles Drew as they identify students in need. There also is an Adopt a School program that we have been working with the Charles Drew Memorial Scholarship Fund on with Ernest Everett Just Middle School, and we are trying to increase how that works. There's also an academic preparatory program, the Project Enrich program, which is supported by Charles Drew. But we are hoping to provide eventually a location where the project can be housed and operated under. But any place that we can provide resources, we do that.
So how are the organizations funded, and what role do those contributions play?
Well, with Charles Drew, we're funded by public grants, private citizens, and just donations and just contributions. Again, we're a 501c3, so the money we receive are tax deductible, and the funds are dispersed through scholarships. We have pretty much a single focus or a single swim lane. So pretty much, I would say 99.9% of everything that we get in goes towards scholarships.
How about Friendship Charities?
Yeah, and I would echo the same. A majority of our funds come from donations. The last 2-3 years, we've got we get donations, private donations when we had the Mardi Gras, obviously. But lately, in the last 3 years, we've been able to get grants from the county, the amounts of $50,000 each, and it has it's really helped the activities that we like to support. We also are in the process of looking at, I would say, philanthropic type of fundraising, where we can partner with larger corporations and they can donate to our cause based on the activities that they've seen we've supported.
Is all of your work in Prince George's County, or do you do you venture out elsewhere?
All of our work is in Prince George's County. Our mission charter and then our legal status is all set up to serve the students of Prince George's County, the high school students of Prince George's County.
Okay. How about Friendship Charities?
And that's the same for us, Denise, and Friendship Charities. It's Prince George's County. Obviously, what we have found is there have other counties, Baltimore and even Montgomery County has seen the work that we're doing. And sometimes we will get students either in Project Enrich, or even in some of our other social action programs, and they're interested. But we're solely at this particular point, as our charter mentions, in Prince George's County.
Okay. And are you able to interact with, or let me just ask this question, are other chapters of Omega Psi Phi, do they have these same foundations? And
Yes, they do.
As well? And do you work with them? Do you have an opportunity to work with those chapters as well?
Yes, we do. As you know, many of the chapters have foundations. They have similar missions that we have. And one of the chapters that we worked with over the years, the Lambda Gamma Gamma chapter, in the December timeframe, we have partnered together to provide turkeys and Thanksgiving dinners to the community and to seniors. But there's a number of other opportunities out there that we'll be able to partner with. And so this is a good thing on the horizon.
It sounds like you guys are doing really good work. What can we look forward to in the future for both of the foundations?
Well, one thing I forgot to mention, I got to put a big plug in. We have a golf tournament that's coming up in June with Phil Ferguson. I'm not sure what year it is, but it's the Phil Ferguson annual golf tournament. I believe it's June 24th, I believe, or somewhere in that area. So we have that coming up, which is a big deal for the foundation as well as the chapter. We're just looking forward to kind of expanding our footprint, just getting the word out, getting more students to know about what we do and the opportunity we have to help provide financial assistance.
And Lucian?
Yeah, for the future, one of the biggest things, at least for me, is we have a number of programs that we support and that we fund. It would be fantastic if we were to have a central location in the heart of Prince George's County where our programs could be run, where we could have educational programs, and we could work with other chapters throughout the DMV or in Prince George's County. So I'm looking to be able to get to that point. And there are some irons in the fire, I'll say, and hopefully in the future we'll be able to tell you some good things about what we're doing.
Well, from all of us here at Community Uplift, we thank you for your service, and we're looking forward to great things, and we wish you all the best with everything you have planned. So if you need anything from us, you're always welcomed. So thank you.
Thanks for having us, Denise.
And that's our show for today. We want to thank you for tuning in to this episode of Community Uplift. If you've missed anything or want to revisit the show, head to gammapi.org. Also, connect with us on Twitter at GammaPiQs and on Facebook at Gamma Pi Chapter. Oh, and we're also on YouTube. Just search Gamma Pi Chapter. For all of us here at Community Uplift, thank you for tuning in to today's show. I'm Denise Smith, and we will see you next time.